up, you guys? My name is Griffin Arnlund and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am doing another confession video. Basically, I had this email, confesstogriff@gmail.com. I will have it right here on the screen. Basically, you can email me anything to that email, a confession, a story, anything along those lines, and I read the craziest ones here to you guys, but I do read all of them and I respond to some of them. So if you guys want to email me, make sure to go ahead and do that. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, I have them pulled up on my laptop here. I was reading some and I was just laying here laughing for like 40 minutes because you guys are the funniest people in the world. I love you guys. So this one was sent in 19 hours ago. Let's see. Hey Griff, this isn't a personal confession. It's actually something my brother and his friend did, but I still feel like it fits well in the confession category. Anyway, this category is about my younger brother, let's call him Liam, and Liam's best friend, who we'll call Aiden, who were both 13. It was a summer night a few weeks after 4th of July. My parents were out and my brother Liam had his friend Aiden over. I'd gone to bed and was in my room watching Netflix when I heard Liam and Aiden running up the driveway laughing and yelling. I didn't think much of it and proceeded to finish my show and fall asleep. The next morning after Aiden had gone home, my brother asked me if I heard him and Aiden running back to the house the night before. I said yes and asked why. Liam told me that they had a few leftover fireworks from 4th of July and were walking around the neighborhood lighting them. About 5 blocks from our house, they came across what they thought was an abandoned car, and for some reason they thought it'd be fun to light off a mortar inside the car. The firework made a loud noise, and when it went off, some people sitting on their porch nearby started yelling at Liam and Aiden, which is when they decided to run home. I found the story a little unbelievable and decided to hope my brother was just trying to get a reaction out of me. He then asked me if I could go back to where the car was to see what damage the firework did. He didn't want to go back to the car because he was worried someone would recognize him and he'd get in trouble. I had no idea how bad it actually was, or even if it actually happened, but I didn't want to risk getting in trouble either. So I avoided the area for a while. Almost 1 month later, I was on a run and impulsively decided to run by the car. It wasn't on the block that I remembered Liam saying it was, but I kept looking and soon found what I assumed was the car. It was an old white buggy with the insides completely charred and the windshield shattered. It was honestly pretty shocking, but don't know what kind of shape the car was in before. Anyway, I'm not sure if the car is still there, and as far as I know, my brother never got into any trouble for it. Sorry, that was a pretty long story, but I hope you enjoyed. This kind of reminds me when I lived in Montana. This sounds so bad, but it's a confession video, so I'm confessing something to you guys, right? When I lived in Montana, I had this one neighbor and she had like these windows taken out of her house, and so she put them up like against this fence, and I was with my friends and I saw like a beehive near the fence, but like not on the fence, and for some reason I thought it'd be a great idea to take rocks and throw them at like her windows and shatter her windows. Realizing now that's a terrible idea and like I shouldn't have done that. We definitely like paid for it and fixed it and everything, but like I did that when I was younger, so I kind of understand what your brother did. He probably felt really crappy afterwards because I know I felt really crappy. But the entire inside of the car being like charred and the windshield broken, like what? Okay, I'm not sure if you believe in ghosts and demons, but I have a story for you. Honey, I believe in all sorts of stuff. Let's go. Oh, I almost dropped my computer. That was scary. Okay. I was with my aunt in her very old apartment in Colorado and I kept hearing things. Everything about this apartment was very sketchy. The telephone on the wall that was probably from the 50s or even earlier. The bathroom, which just had this very old creepy vibe, and when you walked into either of these two bedrooms, it immediately felt like someone was with you. You just felt a presence. This was about a year ago when I didn't believe in ghosts, but it will be burnt in my brain forever. My aunt had gone to get some pizza while I was stuck alone in the apartment. There weren't many light sources, so I had to go turn on some lamps as I went from room to room. I got up to go to the bathroom, and as soon as I turned to go down the hall, I saw someone. It wasn't just a split second of seeing them. I looked at them, but they never looked back. It didn't take me long to realize they were a girl. She just kept looking down. She stood there with her blonde hair flowing onto her shoulders, not moving an inch, but staying right there about 5 or 6 feet in front of me. She was taller than me, probably 5'9". I backed away and back around that corner, and I didn't go back down that hall until my aunt came home and I could know that I wasn't alone in the apartment. I had trouble sleeping that night and I just kept hearing weird noises like footsteps, but my aunt was in the bed next to me, so I knew it wasn't her. The next day we went on a walk and I started talking to my aunt about random things, and we got onto the topic of mental asylums. It didn't take long until she mentioned that the large, torn down building across from our apartments was an old mental asylum. That got me thinking about the fact that the girl could have been a patient there. Does this make me crazy? What do you think? Am I overreacting? Okay, no. Not overreacting, because that stuff happens all the time, like literally all the time. That's so terrifying. But that's actually weird that you say that. Like I've mentioned this in other videos, but I lived across the street from a graveyard and my house was very, very haunted. So I'm sure that your apartment complex was actually haunted just from being across the street from a mental asylum. Like 99% sure. Also, you should go explore that area because that would be really cool and you could definitely make a really cool vlog out of that, and I will watch it. Okay, This is a story about one of the scariest nights of my life. Just a quick heads up, it's quite long, but so worth the read. Oh boy, okay. So I was about 17 when this happened. One night, a group of my friends were all hanging out and playing video games at our friend's house until about midnight. We all decided that it was late and we wanted to go home. I just got home when I got a call from my friend. She told me that she was about to leave our friend's house just when she noticed a car stopped at the end of the road. Lights on, motor running, and it had its blinker indicator on to turn right. The car had the right of way and there were no other cars around, but it was not turning out of the street. She didn't want to go and check it out on her own, so I drove back up to check it out with her. We both approached the car carefully, and once we got close enough, we realized there was a lady passed out in the vehicle. Immediately, we knew something was wrong, so we tried to open the door and pull the handbrake and turn off the car because her foot on the brake was the only thing keeping the car from rolling down the hill into a creek. The doors were locked. We began banging on the windows and trying to wake her up so she could unlock the car and we could help her. After about 5 minutes of us yelling and banging on the window, she sat up, looked at us, and just stared. She honestly looked so possessed. It was like we were there and she just couldn't see us. I began to call for the police and an ambulance. My friend was desperately trying to open the door. The lady began to roll the car forward, still looking possessed, and began picking up quite a lot of speed. We were running along, oh my god! We were running alongside the car. Oh my gosh, that's so scary. Like it's so hard for me to read this right now. We were running alongside the car trying to get her to stop and snap out of it. Eventually, she just took off and went straight into the light pole, smashing the whole front of her car. We ran up to the car to make sure she was okay. When we reached the car, she was looking forward and then slowly turned her head to stare past us again. What? Okay. Still while looking at us, she put the car into reverse and began to reverse the car out of the light pole, slowly. Once she got past us, she must have floored on the pedal because the car swung back around to smash the back end into the same light pole. What? The lady just never snapped out of it. She began driving back up the hill, and thank God by this time the police had arrived and managed to break into her car and stop her. She was taken away in the ambulance. My friend and I gave a statement to the police and never heard anything more of it. Still to this day, I don't know what was wrong with the lady. Holy crap, that sounds so scary. Like chasing a car down the hill alongside them, trying to make sure that this person doesn't die, and then you watch them crash into a pole. Like what? And after she crashes into the pole and you go to check on the lady, she is laying there and then she goes, what? No, I don't like that. I don't like it. I disapprove. This is the one we've all been waiting for in my last confession video. I'll put a little clip inserted here. Wow. You just spilled all the tea. Like, not just like a cup of tea, like you spilled the kettle. Like, damn. First of all, does that girl know? Like, did she know what was happening? Was she pissed at you? I want to know more about her and her side of the story and what she felt. Did she get a boyfriend? What happened? And did you ever tell him that you didn't actually like him? Is that how you broke up with him? Did you tell him that you used him? I need to know more. If you're watching this, please confess more to me. I will link my last video down below so you can watch the full piece, but basically we got a lot of tea from this girl and this is now an update. Alrighty, I asked her a few questions, so here we go. I never told him I didn't like him and there wasn't really a way to. He had already moved away for college and I broke up with him over a phone call. But in my defense, he stopped talking to me the last month we were together and never gave me a chance to break it off in person. He still doesn't know to this day. Okay, if he doesn't give you the chance to break it off in person, also what the frick? You can't be that much of like a to completely blow off your girlfriend. Like if it's your girlfriend, freaking work that crap out because that's rude. As for the girl, when the guy and I started dating, he recommended that we hold off on PDA until he broke the news to her lightly because he knew she liked him. So that way it didn't hurt her feelings. I went along with it for 2 weeks before I was over him not telling her. He kept putting it off, so I just started holding his hand in the hallway and hoped she would see, and I'm assuming she did. I didn't talk to her during or after our relationship, but she recently added me on Facebook and she has a boyfriend of 2 years now and she seems so happy. I didn't think she knew that I was dating him in spite of her, and she really didn't know that I wasn't into him. She was not the type to get angry, and she wasn't really pissed off with me, but I could tell it made her upset, and I was really surprised when she added me on Facebook after all the crap I pulled. I'm surprised she added you too, but I've realized a lot of people that bullied me in high school are adding me on Facebook right now, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why would I add you on Facebook? So you never know. Let me tell you how we got together because I feel like it's as equally as crazy of a story. Oh boy. So as I said before, we were in an after school club together, and after I decided to make him my target, I flirted with him a lot and he started flirting back. One day we were cleaning up our workstations and he left his iPod out while we went to put some stuff away. I took his iPod and put it in my pocket and told him I would give it back to him tomorrow. He just laughed and went with it. The next day we met up at lunchtime and I was holding his iPod. He asked for it back and a brilliant idea popped in my head. I put it in my back pocket, smirked at him and said, "You can have it back for a kiss." And he kissed me me, and that's how we started dating. It was the most ballsy thing I've ever done in my life. Holy like, I can't even imagine being that ballsy. Like, literally, I can't even imagine being that ballsy with my boyfriend of 2 years. Sometimes I wish I was making this up, but I have everything written down in my diary in my childhood bedroom. If I was home, I would definitely send you pictures from my diary, but I'm going to college across the country, and there's no way I'm going to ask my mom to look through them. I guess if you have any more questions, I'll be watching and I'll be happy to answer. Okay, hey Griff, story time. Back when I was in high school, I did a terrible thing to one of my best friends. She asked me to go on a double date with her, and on this double date, her date and I kind of connected. Like, we talked a lot on the date. I'm pretty sure I talked to him more than she did. At the end of the date, he got my Snapchat because he wanted to show me a video that he thought I would enjoy. Now we all know why he really got it. After the date, she kept telling me how much she really liked him and things like how he's so cute. But me being me at the time, I didn't care what she was telling me. I only cared that I also liked this guy. Now this guy and I started to hang out behind my friend's back. We actually ended up dating for a while after that without her knowing. So that's the story of when I broke the girl code. Girl, you really broke the girl code. Like, I don't know if I could be friends after that. Well, I guess you never found out. Actually, that happened to me plenty of times in middle school. If you're in middle school, you're fine. Like, that stuff happens. It's whatever. Alrighty. I'm from Australia, but my background is Greek, so I go to Greek every week, where I learn the language and culture. My really mean teacher made us all stay in 10 minutes late and was going to keep us in later. He said we could leave in another 10 minutes, so I said out loud to everyone that I needed to leave to go see my grandpa in the hospital and that he didn't have much longer to live, which isn't true at all. My grandpa is completely fine. I think I started bawling my eyes out. I have no idea where it came from, and I instantly felt terrible, but I guess it was good because everyone got to leave after I said that. Let's just hope he doesn't talk to my parents about it. Oh my gosh, so this sounds recent, like you just did this. If you talk to your parents, please keep me updated. Alright, next. So sophomore year of high school, I totally fell for this guy and I thought he liked me back. We talked for a couple months and I decided to ask him to Sadie Hawkins. He said yes and we had a great time, I thought, but then he started ignoring me. A week later, he told me that he wanted to be just friends and that he's sorry for leading me on. Basically, this sucked, but I got over it. But those feelings I had for him never went away, and even when he got a new girlfriend the next year, I always hoped we could be together. Then, him and his girlfriend had a really bad breakup, and we started talking again because I was helping him through it. I didn't have any ulterior motives with this, I just wanted to be a good friend to him. But then he told me he still had feelings for me, and we started hanging out again. This lasted for multiple months, and we even went to prom together. I was head over heels. That summer, he told me I was the love of his life, and I believed him. Oh no. We continued to hang out and I even visited him at his college. But then I found out he had been hooking up with other girls behind my back. Even though we weren't official, I still considered this cheating. I confronted him and he told me that it was a mistake, but we would never work out anyway and that I needed to move on. I still have feelings for him, but I'm also really hurt by that still. I just needed to share this with you and see what you thought about it. Oh my gosh, that guy is so rude. Like, literally, guys can be the rudest people ever, but so can girls. Like, anyone can be rude, but like, geez Louise, like, I'm sorry, that sucks. But I have a lot of respect for you for not going after him while he has a girlfriend. Alright you guys, so that is it for this week's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. Leave a comment down below what your favorite confession was from this video, and hopefully I will see you guys in next week's video. Bye! But I'm